Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So today I wanted to show you guys an email that I received from Ubisoft, and I think this is an email everybody must have received as well. This is nothing special in my case, but I got this email regarding Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and this is something that I would say, as many people may say I don't give Ubisoft a fair shake, or I, complain about Ubisoft. I think I do give them more of a fair shake than many people in the gaming community because, it's very easy to sell the negative stuff. But today is going to be a video about highlighting one of Ubisoft's greatest strengths, which is sticking with their games. They do a good job in that. Now, they may not do a good job in meeting their deadlines, which is something that the division has seen, but they will stick with their commitment to improving their game. Now, I wish that in the beginning and the onset before the release, they don't oversell things, that you just let the game sell itself. It will keep them from a lot more trouble, than they find themselves in sometimes. So this letter says, "Hello, Ghost. Since the launch of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, we've been listening to you, carefully reading conversations online, and we've met some of our community members. We can't stress how much we appreciate you taking the time, blah blah blah. Thanks for all the feedback." But what I wanted to show, that's a whole bunch of PR stuff. What I'm really interested in is showing the full aspect of this letter, and they actually laid out everything step by step how they intend to improve this game. So it's not something that they are just putting out like a roadmap. In fact, Anthem has made the word roadmap become a cuss word in the gaming scene. Just the way they said, we're going to set up a roadmap, because they didn't even have anything of a game to even go with. But here we see that they have, number one, the very first priority that they have is to improve the technical state of the game. And so they released a patch, and then they're working on another patch that's going to be coming at the end of this month, which would include further improvements and updates on the most pressing community feedback. And so this is also to fix a lot of the known issues as well. The second thing is post-launch content. So what they've said is, as we focus on improving the game, we also want you to know that our commitment does not stop here. We're dedicated to supporting Ghost Recon Breakpoint in the long term, and plenty of post-launch content and special events to keep the world constantly growing and evolving. You will get your first taste of Project Titan, our first ever raid, which will release in December, and the Terminator Life event, which will release shortly after that. So they're going to do a Terminator event, probably to promote Terminator. Last time in Ghost Recon Wildlands, they did a Predator event, and I genuinely think that I might just give this game more of a fair shake than I did after its release, because I'm experienced. I've had some experience with an Ubisoft team committing to supporting a game and them actually doing it. In fact, they said they were going to support the Division 1, and currently they're still supporting the game in terms of letting the game remain live. And so I can log into the Division 1, a 2016 title, and play the game right now at patch 1.8 with everything going on, global events still running, which are just cycling, and areas of the map that are there. And so I am more, in a sense, confident with an Ubisoft proposal like this than I would be with many other publishers out there. So this is a very big strength for this publisher. I mean, many of you have mentioned it in my videos. Another thing is in-game economy. We also heard the criticism regarding an in-game economy. That is why we are currently working to make adjustments according to players' feedback in the next few weeks, making the experience for players more comfortable. Now, I don't know what that means. This is very vague. This is like corporate speak. I got nothing from here. They just said we're going to make adjustments according to players' feedback in the next few weeks. Which feedback? And so this is something that I feel like they need to just make the commitment and say, you know what, we're going to remove the microtransaction store. Many of you may think that sounds like a crazy proposition, but if you remember that Shadow of War, Middle-earth, Monolith Games did that. They removed the entire microtransaction store because it was not necessary for the game. And you may say, but this is a game that has some online PvP or co-op component. The same was with that Monolith game. It did have an online component where you could attack people's forts or their, I think it's a forts or their bases or something. And there was a multiplayer component to that game as well. So there are no excuses here. If they can go all the way, they need to go all the way, because it's a sign of good faith at this moment. And then number 4, AI teammates. To me, this is the most interesting and most important aspect. I really enjoy playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint, in a very organized and coordinated way. Now, as much as I like going online, it's just a little bit, it could be a little disorganized when you go online with a lot of people. And there are a lot of people who said that, they wanted to see this. And they did announce this in E3 that AI teammates were going to be coming back because they actually promised that it was going to be, but AI teammates is a major undertaking. It will require some time. They'll update as progress towards, is out there. So I think I'll probably wait here to go ahead and jump into the game and give it a shot. I'll be happy to get my Uplay Plus subscription or just outright buy the game if I see these improvements. I'm down for that. And then freedom of choice, which is something that they want to actually put out. What this means, I guess this is just something to just allow you customize the game and your own experience. But they did say they wanted to bring a gritty and authentic military experience. And then conclusion, kisses and hugs, XOXO. We want to make the game better. We want to reach out and, have the community understand that we are committed to doing what is right by our gamers. And I think this is one of Ubisoft's best strengths. And I have to say, this is a high five to Ubisoft. Good job for coming out and actually laying down the groundwork for how you're actually going to improve the game by doing it in a mostly clearly spoken and clearly laid out manner. We can hold them responsible to this document because they put it out here. I mean, nobody signed anything, so it's not like some legal whatever, but you know how it is in the gaming world. It's usually a handshake. And so that's how we roll. I mean, except when you're signing a terms of service on your end, that's no longer a handshake. That is a legal document, if you understand. So I think Ubisoft is on the right track to recovering and, regaining what they've lost. And I hope that they learned very critical lesson. And the reason I make these videos covering, Ubisoft updates and stuff is because this is a company that I'm really, really excited to, be a part of some of its ecosystems and some of its games. Now, how, that works in terms of their perception, because they watch every video as much as they possibly can. How their perception is, it doesn't really matter. The community is kind of like my main point of contact. It's just how the players feel that really do matter to me. And so when you guys are commenting, we're talking about these things, it's quite interesting. So in today's market, in today's world, it's nice to see that a gaming publisher can actually, find itself in a situation like this where it's trying to be transparent and plain. And I guess market factors could be another thing that actually, put them in this position where they're like, all right, we really have to go make things right with our community of gamers, because, just a small, subset of decisions have brought them to a place financially that's just not strong. I mean, their share price dropped from the 20s in terms of dollars, 20 something dollars, all the way to about $11 at one point. That is a very huge drop. It's a very, very huge drop. It's not something that should be taken lightly. And so I think they're not taking it lightly. They're trying to do what needs to be done, but it will take a while to recover player confidence. But it's not like players are not going to participate, or players are not going to, call out and say this is good. Players are going to admit that this is good. Some people might hold on and say, whatever. But if you want to be really, straightforward and objective, you have to admit it's a big, huge task to make a video game. That's for sure. And, somebody had to remind me today on one of my videos and say, you have to appreciate how much it takes to make a game. And I do. Once in a while, I probably lose sight of that, because I don't know how to make a video game. I mean, I've looked at a lot of the programming stuff and I'm like, yeah, right. I have other things that I can do, but, programming, coding, designing, and art, and that stuff is not part of it. But, in everything that we're doing, we're always trying to strive for excellence. And so it's wise not to try to oversell or throw out any tactics that will make people even have any suspicion that you're being shady. And I think the same applies. And so this is where software development in gaming differs from software development outside of gaming. It's a very different relationship. And I think, publishers are going to be very, very aware of how that relationship needs to be very authentic. It cannot be based or built on lies or built on any kinds of falsehoods. Because every time they do that, they lose customers. And so they need to do everything that they can to keep and bring new customers to their ecosystem. All right, that's it from me. Thank you very much for even watching the video. I appreciate you guys' time and audience. I guess I'll see you in my next video, whenever that is. Peace.